know the people, as soon as we release this, they're going to be wondering what we're doing, why we started this. There's no money to be made on it and all this and all that. So really I would like to start this podcast off just explaining why we started this.
I think that's a perfect place to start. I mean, we started GHM Clothing back in, I think, 2018, 2019, something like that. Right. And it was just really, it started as we wanted to spread motivation in the area because sometimes people need to hear that, we felt like. And we knew that was the outlet we wanted to take was motivation. We just necessarily didn't have the right guidance in what we thought we needed to do. And honestly, we were younger at the time, so we didn't have the mindset we have now. Because people grow every day, and our mindset. Sure. We had what we wanted to do, we just weren't prepared for it at the time. And we had setbacks, and we didn't know how to handle those.
Yeah, I think that, we had them setbacks once we started the clothing brand, and we just was like, well, that's it. We're done with it. We're burnt out or just whatever. And, we just kept having that mindset for years until, maturity finally hit us. And just that day when I came over to your house after work in the morning, randomly just showed up, and then we talked for, hours. And then randomly I was like, man, we need to do something like, I don't know, a podcast. And then you stopped me. You was like, wait, I think you're onto something. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast? What made you want to do this? What made you want to do that? So I just explained it, and then when you stopped me and made me realize that, I was like, wait, I never even thought about that, but, that's a great idea because especially the area that we're from is just, it can be negative and draining, small town stuff. So I just feel like this was a really good outlet for us to spread positivity.
And it's crazy because the day you came over, like a couple days before that, I was thinking like, man, what am I doing? Like I'm supposed to be doing something different. Because the job I have now, I waited 2.5 years for. And I was like, okay, when I get there, like this is what I'm after. When I finally get there, this is what I've been waiting for. I ain't got nothing else to worry about. Like I made it. I'm here.
Yeah.
But then I got there, and I got this job that, I waited all this time for. And I realized I waited this entire time, and this isn't even what I'm supposed to be doing. And I was questioning, I was having internal conversations with God, and I even talked to my wife about it. I was like, I'm made it to where I thought I wanted to go, and this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. I can feel that I have something else on the plate that I'm supposed to get to. There's another path that I'm supposed to take. And through the time that it took me to get this job, I learned patience and the process and how to be comfortable with the process. And I think that I went through all of that to finally regroup and bring us back together. Because around the same time, I was thinking, man, I'm supposed to be doing something else. You came and was like, man, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something else, without even having that conversation with each other.
Yeah, and I feel like that was, God's sign of just bringing us together and making us come up with this idea and making it a reality because, I feel like many people will be stagnant or comfortable in life and then, they just want to stay where they're at because they're comfortable. And from there, you just got to keep progressing and keep going. You can't never be comfortable. You got to keep going and keep making yourself uncomfortable to progress in life.
I agree 100%. I mean, a lot of people, nothing about this area in particular, it may be everywhere, but I feel like a lot of people get these short-term goals and then they're satisfied.
Yeah.
They get, like you said, get comfortable. And I realized that I'm not comfortable where I'm at. And I want to push for more, and I feel like more people should push for more. I have just as much of an ability to go wherever I want to go. If I want to start a business, I can start a business. Anyone can start a business. It's just putting the time and the effort towards it and not being, once it gets uncomfortable, not giving up. Because it's going to come a time where it's going to get hard. You're going to fail. You're going to have setbacks. But it's how you encounter those setbacks and how you handle them is what drives you to do either quit or continue on that path.
Exactly. And, I heard this a few months ago. I can't remember where, but I'd like to add my own little twist to it. The rich, the poor, the middle class, everybody has the same time throughout the day. It's what you do with that time throughout the day. Are you going to wake up on your off day and go back to sleep? Are you going to force yourself to get up and even if you don't have any ideas, research. Do your research. Read books. Read articles. Read magazines. Try to progress yourself any way you can throughout any free time that you have. You can't just get that 9 to 5 and just be comfortable and like, I'm right there. I'm just gonna keep this job. I made it. I'm good. I pay my bills. You can't be like that, because 5 years down the road, you're gonna be in the same boat. And looking back, it's like, oh, when I was younger, I should have done this. I should have done that. Do it now. Quit saying that you're gonna do it tomorrow. And we're coming up on the new year. And one thing that I really hate that people do is that new year, new me.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing that? At the first of the year, everybody always has these goals. Oh, I'll do it at the first of the year. I'm going to change. Do it today. Quit waiting for tomorrow. Do it today so you can better yourself for tomorrow.
I agree. And I like what you said with everybody has the same amount of time. It's just how you invest your time.
Exactly.
Because time is money at the end of the day. Not just at your 9 to 5. What are you doing with your time that you're off work?
Yep.
I wake up in the morning. I get off at 12 at night. I get up 6:30 in the morning. If you establish that routine, eventually you ain't tired no more. You're used to it. You don't even need that alarm because you're waking up and you're ready to go. And I invest my time in starting my own business, and I push my own business while I'm at home, and then I go to work, and I'm working on while I'm working on business. You can always work on it, even if it's just in your head thinking of, well, how can I twist this to work, or how can I do this, or where should I put my money? There's always time to work on something.
And these people don't see that either. They'll get that 9 to 5, like I was saying, or whatever. They'll just be comfortable, and they'll just stay stagnant and like, oh, I got tomorrow off. I'm just going to sleep in. Even if it's just not business goals or whatever's for you, even if it's just finding yourself, you're going through depression or whatever, finding yourself, wake up in the morning, don't get back in bed, brush your teeth, take a shower, whatever you got to do, look at yourself and tell you you're going to have a good day today, and go do what you can to better yourself each and every day. Don't feel sorry for yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You got to dig deep and do it yourself. Nobody expects you to accomplish these goals, so you got to prove them wrong.
And I like that where you said about, and you brought up depression, because a lot of people do. Depression's a big issue. A lot of people go through it. I get that. It's a struggle. You got to learn how to overcome that. And for a lot of people, they feel like they may need medication. And I'm not knocking that, because some people may need medication, but there is a way out of this. What you're encountering right now isn't always going to be there. And do not underestimate the hole that taking your life will fill if you're getting that far. Because, the person you are today, you won't be that person in 5 years.
Oh, no.
You may not, if you clean floors, you may not be a good floor cleaner, but you're going to be a heck of a mother one day. You're going to be a heck of a father one day. So you just got to push through, and you don't know what tomorrow will bring. It could all change tomorrow. It's how you encounter each day that will prove what the long-term effects will be.
I like that. And I've been around people that are depressed, or talked to people that are depressed. It's hit me a couple times, but I just got out of that. I noticed it and I got out of it. And they believe, which it feels like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders and you can't do nothing about it. But I promise you, if there's a will, there's a way, and you can get out of it. It starts with you and not worrying about how other people feel. Don't try to make people feel sorry for you, because at the end of the day, they're not going to. Really, they might say they are, but they're not going to. It's you against you in this world, and you got to make the best of it and try to accomplish everything that you ever dreamed of doing.
And like you said, it is you against you. The only person that can save you from this is you. You can get closer in faith, and God will always have your back. He will always pull you out of a slump and help. He will show you the way to get out of the slump.
Yep.
But if you wake up and I know it's hard. I know it gets hard. Times are hard. But if you wake up, no matter how hard you got it, tomorrow can always bring something else. If you just push, you change. Today, think positive. Change positive. Positive breeds positive. Negative breeds negative. If you say that first thing in the morning, it's a good day. Today's going to be a great day. Well, the next thing you know, you're going to encounter somebody, you talk to them, like, hey, sir, today's going to be a good day. And then you develop this conversation that's positive, and it will breed positive throughout your day. And I know it's hard when it's gloomy outside. if you got depression going on or whatever. But I promise you, if you just speak positive, it'll come back into your life.
I like that. And I would like to say that what you were kind of talking about, manifesting, that's what I believe that you can do. You can manifest these things, as well as put faith in God to guide you through these battles, because anything is possible. You got to speak it into existence and know that you can do it. Not just, oh yeah, I'm going to do it, but not put in the work. And manifest and put in the work to do them goals, no matter what they are. I promise you, they are very reachable, and it will happen. You just got to stay strong and fight your battles by yourself. Don't expect nobody to do it for you. Do it yourself, dig deep, and you can do these things.
Another thing is, too, as far as manifesting, you can manifest anything if you truly put your mind to it, like you were saying. But you do not want to share your manifestations, your ideas with people. And it's nothing against people, but just a lot of people, well, they don't see that you can do that because they don't see it in themselves.
Yeah.
They'd be like, well, what are you going to do about the funding? Or what are you going to do about the advertisement? Or what are you going to do about getting the word out? What I'm going to do and what you are going to do are two different things. I'll put in the legwork. I'm out here to get it. I'm out here to make it. You might not see it. If they say, I don't think you can do that. Well, you can't. You're speaking your own insecurities towards me. You can't do it, but I can. Sure. I know I can. So you got to keep it to yourself sometimes. You got to keep it within and work on it. Not everybody's going to support you on the way to the top, but once you get to the top, they're going to want your support.
Yeah, for sure.
So you just got to keep pushing and not share everything with people, especially in such a small stage. I heard a preacher say one time, the easiest way to kill something is when it's in baby stage, when it's in the beginning. Like they did, like the king of Israel did at the time whenever Jesus was born. The word got out there was going to be a king. He had issued every son under the age of 2 to be killed, because the easiest way to kill a king is when it's in infant stage. So I feel like the easiest way to kill your dreams is when it's small. So don't share everything. Push to the top. And when you finally get there, then everybody will want to come along for the ride.
And I've caught myself doing that many times too. Younger age, I would tell people these ideas and they'd be shot down, or something would go wrong and I'd just give up on them. And I believe what I was looking for was I was looking for support, when the whole time the support I needed was from myself and within, and to dig deep and do these things, keep it to myself. And no matter how close they are, if they don't have the same vision as you, don't tell them. They can watch just like everybody else when you accomplish these things.
And it's good to have a team if you have those people around you. But you got to realize you are who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with negativity, you surround yourself with people that are drinking all the time, people that are partying all the time, I'm sorry, but you're going to breed negativity. You're going to bring that into your life. If they're trying to call you out to drink, nothing against drinking if that's your thing. That's fine. A lot of people do it. A lot of people struggle with it. But while you're drinking, I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work on my business.
Yep. I'm
going to get that much further in life. That alcohol ain't nothing but something to consume your money, something to consume your time and your brain. I'm sorry, but up top in my head, I ain't struggling that bad where I need to drink. I'm good with who I am. I can live with it. I'm trying to make myself better every day.
And I've caught myself many times, younger ages, all they do is go around and party, and which not everybody, but the majority goes out and parties and drinks and all that stuff. And when we were younger, it was fun but now that I've matured and I've realized that this ain't my thing, it just takes my focus off everything. And I got a group of buddies that they're still partying and all that stuff, which they're younger and there's nothing wrong with it. But I came to them and I told them, I was like, look, I love you guys and all this and all that, but partying ain't my thing. I can't do it no more. And it just takes my focus off everything. And they actually were like, I respect that. I actually respect that. You got goals. You got everything that you want to do. And that's very respectable. I understand your situation. Actually, a few of them quit drinking as well. And they were like, I like that idea. I'm going to quit drinking as well. And this would like to take me to my next topic is you have to be a leader, because sheep will just go in circles. And I feel like that's what I did in that situation. And it's not only just that situation, it's in life. You got to be a leader and not look on anybody else to take that goal from you, because that's your goal. You got to be the leader of everybody else and be like, look, this is me against me. I'm not in competition with anybody else. I'm going to the top. Y'all can follow me, but I'm not following y'all. One day of relaxing and not following your dreams, that's somebody else one step further of taking your dream from you. So you got to do it every day. Get all the negativity out of your life and keep going.
And really, that's how you find out who's with you and who's against you. When you speak honestly with your people, whether it's friends, family, whatever, if you speak, hey, this is how I feel, I feel like necessarily what we're doing isn't the right thing, and that's standing up for what you believe in. There's nothing wrong with that. But you'll see real quick who's on your side and who's against you when you speak honestly. Like, hey, I feel like this is wrong. I want to change it. And you're taking the first steps to be a leader. And if somebody's like, you know what, I agree. And if you're in the right, especially if you're saying it and you're right, you know what, I agree. That is the right thing. And there's not necessarily you need to lead and have people follow you. You can bring everyone up in your circle. You can all be leaders and you can lead this thing together. But just don't follow someone if you believe it's wrong. Stand up for what you believe in, whether it's what you're doing is wrong, or the time you're spending on things is wrong, or the way you're traveling, just anything. The way you're following God, or whatever you're doing, just stand up for what you believe in, and eventually they can respect that, or they can't respect it. I'm sorry, if you don't respect it and you don't agree with it, I can't be around you no more. If you're going to hate on what I want to do, I got to cut you out. And it's going to be hard sometimes. It's going to be family, it's going to be friends. But sometimes you got to cut them people out of your life.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I can't bring you to the top with me. I'm going up this mountain. I'm on the way to what I feel my life is supposed to bring me, the top of my whatever I'm chasing, my dreams. I can show you, I can let you come with me, but I cannot drag you. The more people that aren't walking with you, it's the more people you're pulling up. And it's going to be harder to get to the top whenever you're pulling somebody behind you. You can come to the top with me, but I'm not going to pull you up there.
I strongly agree with that, and I would like to say that kind of similar what you was talking about. It's almost like in life you're climbing these steps, and the bad people you'll notice real quick once you start climbing them steps, because they'll be reaching at your jeans and trying to grab them to pull you back down. Hey, I want you to come back down here. Hey, I want you to come party. Hey, I want you to come do whatever that takes your focus off these things, and you don't want to tell them no. Well, that's one step closer. They got you to the bottom. Then next week comes around. Hey, I don't want to do these things. Come on, man, let's go out and do this or do that. And then you fall for these things, pulling you back down again, one more step. But you got to realize that these people or these things are not good for you. Even if you're thinking in your head, they're not good for you. If you want to progress in life, you just got to kick them things off the steps, off your jeans, and keep climbing to the top. Because like I was saying earlier, it's you against you. Nobody can fight this battle for you.
And I truly agree with that. At the end of the day, your success will speak for itself. You cannot bring someone with you, and if they pull you down, that's because they're comfortable where they're at. There's a circle, and everyone wants to get outside of it. Or everyone thinks they want to get outside of it.
Yeah.
But on your way outside of that circle, on your way to success, on your way to be different, people are going to speak death into it. People are going to speak negativity on it because it's different, because they're jealous of you. And whether they know that they're jealous or that's just their own insecurity speaking up out of not knowing, they're going to try to bring you back in. And you got to cut those people out. You want them people that are going to help you get outside of the circle. They're going to help you get to success. And if there's nobody, if you have nobody, that's fine. Be comfortable being with yourself. You cannot make it up to the top. You can't love anyone. You can't love what you do until you love yourself first and you know yourself first, and being comfortable alone. Because there's going to be times where you're going to be alone. You got to get it sometimes.
Yep.
Most of the time, you got to be comfortable with just you, being by yourself. And once you are comfortable with just you, can't no one bring you back down.
Nope.
Because hey, at the end of the day, I got me. Oh, you had me for the past 2 years, but now you don't got me. That's all right. I had me yesterday. I had me tomorrow. I don't need you. And it's nothing negative. It's nothing like, speaking like I'm a king on a throne. It's just knowing that when no one else has you, as long as you have yourself, you're always going to be okay and you're always going to push further. And that makes you a leader, truly.
I think a good representation would be like how you would go and say you change your oil by yourself and you get it all changed and you feel accomplished. Like, I changed my oil by myself or whatever it may be. I'm just saying. And it's a good feeling. I feel like it's the same way in life. If you rely on somebody else to do it with you or for you, which you might have a team that you guys progress. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is the best feeling is doing something on your own. For me personally, not speaking for anybody else, I would like to do it by myself because these people might just be leeching off you and you bring them with you and they're not good for you. And then 10 years down the road when you're successful, they're like, hey, you remember when I helped you do this or I helped you do that? I don't want that. I want to do it on my own, by myself, with my team that everybody all has a part in being successful in the same mindset. That's what I want around me.
And that old saying, snakes in the grass. You know, it's hard to tell a snake when it's in the grass. So you got to cut the grass low. And the lower your grass, or the more your guard's up, and the more you read people and you can tell people, because you can learn to read people. Like I've been around so many different people. I can tell who you are before you even say a word. I can tell who you are. And if I don't talk around you, it's nothing against you. It's just we're not the same kind of person. And you may not mean to have that negative energy, but I'm not going to engage in that. I'll quiet, and I'm quiet. Everybody says, "Why is he so quiet?" I'm figuring you out still. I'm trying to learn who you are. I'm not going to let my guard up, and I'm not going to put out positivity with you, whether it's in your own team or whatever. And if I learn you're a positive person and you got things to contribute, and it's not just to me, but it's to the conversation, it's to the energy. Hey, come over here. I'll talk to you. We'll get some things going. We'll work on business, or just engage in conversation. Being a friendly person, that's fine too. But on the way to the top, you're going to realize fast if they're for you or if they're against you. And when times get hard, the snakes come out. Everybody's fine as long as that boat's sailing smooth, but as soon as you get into rough waters, well, man, I don't know if we should do this. Yeah. I don't know if I can keep going with you. Well, that's fine. You ain't got to keep going with me. I know I can do this. And at the end of the journey, you may be on your own, and that's all right. But just know you're sailing that ship to where you want to go, not to where someone else wants to go. You can't hop on and let somebody just take you there. If you want to, we're all in the same boat. We're contributing to the same journey. That's okay too. We may get there faster. But if it gets rough, don't expect me to bail off this thing with you because I'm going all the way.
I feel like a really good thing to have that most people don't have is the ability to actually read people and realize their true intentions, because there's many people out there that you might feel comfortable enough with them to tell them your goals and what you want to do in life, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. But then they might go tell Sammy from across the street, oh, he's trying to do this. Can you believe this? Can you believe that? That'll never happen. So that's really a good trait to have, is the ability to read somebody and know that their true intentions are pure, and that way you can kick the negativity out of your life, because negativity is never going to do anything good for you, and as long as you want to keep progressing in life.
And the whole going to tell somebody, like, it's because it happens a lot. Somebody be like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, man. They'll support you to your face, then they'll go behind your back and they'll say something negative about it. Personally, I love it. I'm like, fine, go talk about me. Go talk negative to him. It's going to come back to me that you're talking like that. That's fine. I won't associate with you anymore. But that little bit of you talking to Sammy from across the street, like you said, that's free advertisement on what I'm working on.
And motivation as well.
Yeah, you're pushing me to do better. Now I know, okay, I read you wrong this time. The next person like you, I'm going to know, okay, this is how they operate. Yeah. That's fine. It's a journey, and I'm learning things every day, and you're teaching me how to operate differently. So I ain't mad at you. That's fine. You just taught me a lesson. I appreciate that. Thank you. And sometimes you got to do that. You'll have people come into your life that'll do nothing. They'll breed negativity, or they'll speak down on you. Sometimes you got to thank them. It's quicker to forgive somebody and just wash your hands with it than it is to hold a grudge. Yep. And forgiveness is a hard trait to learn, because sure, as humans we hold grudges. You'll go your whole life, man, I hate that person. And hate's a strong word, I know. It is. But you'll say, I hate that person because of this. The quicker you wash your hands with that, and I'm sorry. I forgive you for what you did, or I forgive you for what you said about me or how you operate. I'm gonna move on with my life. And you wash your hands with that and you're clean with that. You ain't got to live with that no more, because that'll come out. Lack of forgiveness and holding that grudge against somebody, it'll come out against someone else. So if you just move on with it and wash your hands with it and don't stay down, because you're breeding negativity within your own self by keeping that with yourself.
I believe a good representation is really, say this water bottle is you, and this circle is the day-to-day, the 9 to 5, everybody working overtime or whatever the case may be, just the average Joe, and you take out a step outside of this circle, figuratively, everybody else ain't tall enough to see over them walls, so they can't see the same things as you, and so they talking down on it. They believe, oh, that's just stupid. He's trying to flip houses. He's trying to open up a power washing business, or whatever the case may be. What is he doing? That's not even reachable. What he has $1,000 car that he drives, or whatever the case may be. I mean, don't care what everybody else does. Be a leader. Take a step outside of the circle and accomplish your goals. Don't rely on anybody else, just like I was talking about earlier.
And that's another big thing, too. Your dreams are just that. They're your dreams. God put that in your head. He didn't put that in somebody else's head. You can't expect someone else to see what you're trying to do. And if you truly you can manifest anything, like we were saying earlier, if you follow what you think's right. And once you do get close, like I got closer with God, I've always believed. I've always believed in God. But once you truly know God, there's a difference between believing in God and knowing God. And once you finally get that relationship with Him, you have no fear. Once you are good religiously, you have no fear. And I mean, if anybody's listening to this and they don't believe in God, that's fine. That's fine. If that's what you truly believe, that's fine. But you cannot change what I believe in and how I live my life, because I follow Him. I had a conversation with the dude at work one time. And he's like, man, I don't believe in God. I've never seen proof. So I can't believe it because I've never seen Him. I said, I've seen God. He's like, shocked. Like, what?
Yeah.
You seen God? What's He look like then? I said, God looks like me waking up every day in the morning. God looks like me having a beautiful family to go home to. God looks like my mom beating cancer, my grandma beating cancer. God looks like me sitting down right now talking to you about Him. I said, sir, God's everywhere around you. All you got to do is open up your eyes and look at Him. And man, some people don't know how to take that.
That's
but really,
moving.
He's working every day around you. If you allow Him, if you work with Him, He will give you the blueprints. All you got to do is build the house that He designed for you. And that's all I'm chasing. I truly put my trust in Him. And once I did that, it changed everything. It changed my mood. It changed how I live my life. It changed how I engage with people. I have no stress. I have no fear, because I know at the end of the day, He has me.
Man, I like that. They gave me chills. That was a good one. And I would like to bring up my testimony, actually, now that you said that. So a few people in my family and friends know that I was in a dirt bike accident earlier this year, and I actually, half of my toe got blown off in the accident, and I rushed to the ER, and the doctor came in the room, said, look, half of your toe is pretty much off. There's no saving it. And that hurt me, because I never thought my whole life that I would have half my toe blown off. And now I got to live with that. And I was in the hospital for 3 days, 3 nights. And the whole time the doctors and the nurses all was like, there's a strong possibility that we're going to have to chop the rest of your toe off and possibly your foot. And that just talked about the worst feeling of my life. I never would have thought that I would even be put in that situation. And so the whole time I was like, no, I don't want that to happen. That can't happen to me. That can't happen to me. So the third night, I was in the middle of the night. I was crying, bawling my eyes out, praying to God. I said, God, please do something. Please don't do this to me. I don't need this in my life. Please, God. everything that I've done, I don't want this, God. Why me? And I heard a voice vividly say, don't worry, my son. I will take care of you. And whatever the doctor was going to tell me that morning, just calmness went throughout my whole body. And I felt relaxed, and I just knew something good was going to happen. And the doctor came in the room, I'd say 6 a.m. in the morning, and told me, he was like, wow, this is a miracle. You got circulation back in your toe and in your foot. You get to go home. And I got to go home that morning after praying to God and God talking to me. And ever since I had that feeling, I just want to tell the world, it's a great feeling. I want to bring everybody else with me, because it's just amazing that he can do these things for you. Even though you can't see him, I promise you, if you believe and follow his path and put your trust in him, he will provide for you 10 out of 10 times. My voice gets shaky talking about this because it's changed my life and it's moved me so much.
I mean, I absolutely love when you tell that story. I've heard it probably 15, 20 times, but every time you say it, I can just feel, I can almost feel God in the room. I can feel his presence here, man. Like God is good. That's all I can say, man. He does amazing things if you truly allow him to. And I feel like with your situation, like they say, God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. And I feel like you were on a route that you were chasing and that you wanted for yourself with a basketball career, college basketball career. Like you were on that route, and that necessarily wasn't the route that he wanted you on. And he was like, he redirected you. He revealed himself to you. He showed you, don't worry, my son, I got you. In that case, he literally heard him say that.
Yeah.
And he put you on track to what he has in store for you. And what he has in store for you may not necessarily be the most fulfilling financially, but if that finance is what you're chasing, ultimately you're not going to be happy anyway. Once you let him guide you, and once you put your faith in him, like just faith walk, really. Once you put your faith in him and let him guide you, and let him, just follow the path. He'll lay the path for you. You can choose to walk, you can choose to chase your own route. But if you truly allow him to guide you on where you want to go, ultimately, you'll be happy in the long run. It'll be more self-fulfilling in the long run if you walk with him.
For sure. And I agree that, when I was younger, I had these dreams that I wanted to be an NBA player, just like many kids do have that dream. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I was so focused on that. And once I got the college basketball scholarship, that's all I focused on. And I was doing it by me. I was doing my plans by me because I always thought, this is what I want to do. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing next, my way. And I feel like, as bad as it may seem, that really changed me and was like a slap in the face. Look, your whole life you've been doing these things by your way. You're getting really close with me, but it's just one little thing off. It's time that you realize you need to follow me and quit doing these things by you, these earthly things, these fleshly things. Do them my way. Let me guide you, and you just trust me to provide for you.
And I mean, a lot of people struggle with it. I mean, heck, I struggle with it. Because it's hard to tell sometimes. Because when God wants to come into your life, sometimes he'll come into your life in the form of a person or an event. And when the devil wants to come into your life, he'll come into your life as a form of a person or an event. Yep. So, as a man of faith, sometimes it's hard to tell. But you can truly open your eyes and you can just God, please, guide me. I know what you have in store for me. I know that I feel in my heart that you have things for me, that you have something that you want me to do. I'm putting it in your hands. Just show me what you want me to do. And if you open your eyes, he will show you. He will give you step-by-step direction. You're going to go through struggle. You're going to go through hardship. But you're building character. You're building everything that you need to build on the way towards that. The short path towards the house or the end goal you're getting to, once you get there, it's going to fall apart because you don't know how to handle it when you get there. If you just get there quick, when hard time, stress, whatever the case may be comes in, death to someone close to you, you won't know how to handle it. You won't know how to operate because you didn't encounter that. Yep. And on this long path, it teaches you character. It teaches you how to handle stress, how to handle different things. So when you finally get to where you're trying to go, and you get to what God has in store for you, battles come about or hard times come about, you know how to handle it. You got this suit of armor on, and on this path, it's almost like you learn these things. Well, here's stress. I learned how to handle that. Put the armor on. Well, here's financial troubles. I put the armor on. Here's a death, or here's somebody negative in my life that I trusted all this time, and now they switched up on me. You put the armor on. And when you finally get to battle, you're suited up and ready to go. Can't nobody hurt you no more. You know how to handle it. You done been encountered all these situations where you're strong now. Can't nobody hurt you. Whereas if you just rush straight into battle with no armor, people can get a jab at you. And that one jab may be the one that ends you. Maybe the one that ends this journey that you were on. But if you learn on the way, can't nobody stop you when you finally get there. You just got to learn how to encounter these things and trust. Yeah, it's going to be hard now. It may be 5 years of stress, 5 years of struggle. It may be 10, maybe 20. Not everybody's on the same path. But once you finally get to where you're going, you know how to handle everything and anything that comes in the way.
I like that. And they say, you ask and you shall receive. And I've caught myself many times. I'm sure everybody's guilty of it. God, just let me win the lottery or something. But, and you're asking for those things. You're like, you say you ask and you shall receive. But them are fleshly things and earthly desires. And you got to just trust him. Sure, you may ask for these things, but money, girls, whatever the case may be, praying for those things, you're praying for all the wrong things, when all the things that you need to be praying for is in your face, right in front of you. The whole time you're praying for the wrong things or doing by the wrong things.
And really, if you're chasing finances, ultimately you're not gonna be happy anyway. If money's your thing, that's fine. But you're going to get to the top of the mountain with all that money, if that's your end goal, and you realize, man, I all the relationships that I could have built, the family I could have had, the kids that I could love, I never did those things because I was chasing finances. That's what I thought would give me happiness. It's not going to give you happiness. That's not we're not here to get money. I mean, yeah, we got to have it to live. Money's nice. But ultimately, if that's all that you truly believe in, that's all that you want, it's going to be lonely at the top. You're not going to have anything to truly feed that happiness.
Yeah.
I honestly believe the reason we're here is love. And I don't mean love in a man and a woman or however. I mean love is just loving the person next to you. Spreading love to people you don't even know. Being a loving person and showing someone, hey, there's positivity out there. In a world full of darkness, be a light. That's the simplest thing it boils down to.
I agree, for sure. And Jesus was put on this earth to spread love. That's what he did. He walked the world spreading love. Peter, he was put on this earth. He walked the world spreading the word of God. And in today's society, and so easy it is with social media, you can just put a phone up and sitting down in your front room spreading the word or spreading love, whatever the case may be. But it's just really, it's way easier now, and people have taken these technologies and these new society things and just twisted them for evil or negative things. They see these negative things online and they go ahead and just, oh, I seen this. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about this situation. Somebody died. Let's make a joke about it. You're doing all the wrong things. It's so easy today that you can just put a phone in front of your face and say somebody puts a new profile picture on there. And they may be a negative person or whatever, just or sad or going through something. Just tell them, you look good today. Or just even in public too as well. It's just so easy that we have cars, technology, all these things that it's right in front of us without even moving, without even walking the world. It's just so easy to reach many people and spread love, spread the word of God. Tell somebody they look good today at the grocery store. All these things are just made so easy for us. and we have twisted it for the worse.
And that's true. I mean, Facebook and just social media in general, you see a lot of negative. Car crash here, or this person killed here, or this celebrity did this negative thing. Why not be positive? And someone that's trying to be positive, someone that's trying to have goals, but they may not necessarily be where they need to be positivity-wise or mentally, it's hard to get out of that bubble because there's so much negative going on, and even sometimes it's their own family. Yep. They'll say, well, I don't think you can do that, and a lot of times it is your own family. They'll speak negativity into it because that's their own self, for one, and it's just so common to have negativity spoke everywhere. Everybody's reading that. It's hard to move, and it's hard to change. And if someone's out there right now and you have that business, you have that goal, you have that job, whatever you're trying to do that you're trying to chase, don't let anybody tell you can't. Because you can. I promise you. It may seem hard now. It may seem like you can't do it, but you can do anything that you want to.
For sure.
And I know that a lot of people, your own family may say you can't, but just push harder, push out of that. And through the struggle, you are going to come out a warrior. You're going to come out on top. Can't nobody stop you when you finally get there. Just keep pushing towards what you're wanting to do. If you got to cut them out, you got to cut them out. That's all right. But you just keep pushing towards what you got to do.
I feel like that's what pushed us to do the podcast as well, as each other motivating each other to do it, is what I was saying about spreading love, spreading the word of God, spreading positivity. And sure, we might get a few views, and they're all negative views, watching this podcast, or just even one view, and people are talking trash. Like, they went out of the time to make a 2-hour podcast and get one view. They bought all this equipment and get one view. Why? That's dumb. They're not making any money. That's not what we're doing it for. We're doing it to spread positivity and spread motivation. It says it in right there, Grind Hustle Motivation, and I strongly live my life by that. And not even because it's our clothing brand, just that saying, grind, hustle, motivation. And if we do get one view and it is the negative view, it's just we're hitting that negative person and filling their ears and head with positive things. And it might not change them, but that's okay because we're filling their ears with positivity. Or it might hit that negative person wrong on the right day, and might change them. Like, you know what? They're right. I can do this. I can chase my goals. This whole time I've been so negative because I keep telling myself that I can't reach these goals because my neighbor, they're in the 9-to-5, so I'm comfortable as well. Or we might hit a positive person needing this motivation and really pushing them. It's not about the views. It's about the people that it hits, no matter what. We're doing our part by spreading the positivity. It's on everybody else to listen to this and keep it in their ears or fill their mind with these things. And not even just our podcast. I'm not even trying to get views. It's not about that. Go watch some other podcasts or motivational videos. Quit filling your ears with all these negative things.
And if we only get 5 people that watch it, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. That's not what I'm not here for views. I'm not here for financial gain. It's not finances is why we're doing this. We're doing this because we feel like we need to. And even if it's just my mom watching, that's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom. For
sure.
I ain't worried about it.
For sure.
But I promise you I'll be here next week, and maybe 10 will watch it then. And say 10 watching next week, I'll be here next year, and we may be at 100. Well, I'll be here in 5 years, and we may be at 100,000. You just don't know. No. Consistency is what you got to base everything that you're doing. If you stay consistent in what you're doing, what is here tomorrow will snowball into the next year or into the next 5 years or even it could blow up in a month. You never know. Yep. That day that you were going to give up may have been the day that you were going to blow up.
I like that.
So you just got to stay consistent with it. And I'm sorry, but you ain't going to stop me. You can say something negative. Leave a comment for me.
Yeah.
At jcurtis625. I'm fine with it. Go ahead and tag me because I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about negativity because I'm so positive in what I'm doing. And I believe I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And what you have to say won't stop me. What you have to say it doesn't matter. That time you took to say something negative, you could have invested in being positive or on your own self. So that's your own insecurity speaking up into what I have going on. I know what I'm going to do. I know what God wants me to do. I know what's right in my heart. So I'm going to continue to do this. And Grind Hustle Motivation, I almost think of it like a step-by-step in life. Like you start out, you're on the grind. You're grinding, you're trying to push for this. It's hard. But then you get to the next step, you're hustling. You're getting rewarded for it. You know, you're making it there. And then you get to the last step, motivation. You made it there. Time to spread that motivation, baby. Try to keep going, you know.
Yeah.
It's almost a step by step. And not just in the brand, but in life. You know, everybody can go through that, but it's where do you give up? Do you give up in the grind? Did you finally get to where you're hustling? And now you gave up before you got to where you could be that motivation? Nobody can do it for you. And you're going to have a lot of people speak negative. A lot of people try to bring it down. But it's how you deflect that. You can deflect it with negativity, and really it's just going to come back to you negative. Or you can deflect it with positivity. I appreciate that. If you have a negative comment to say, thank you. Thank you for taking your time to write that. I'll be here next week. Make sure to leave me one. Just always pushing for that next level and not let anybody stop you for what you're trying to do.
It's like trying to find your why. Why do you do these things every day? Finding your why is very hard, and it took me, I'm 22, it took me probably 20 years to find my why. And the whole time, my why was me. If anybody that knows me, my lock screen is a picture of 5-year-old me holding a John Cena chain, and people think it's just goofy, but really, I keep that as a reminder of my why. That's my why, is 5-year-old me. And what I mean by that is he proud of me today? If I talk to 5-year-old me or 10-year-old me today, would he be proud of me? So I do everything I can to make younger me proud. And for the longest time, I thought, oh, this injury happened. I was almost to college basketball. I didn't make it to the NBA. I don't think he's going to be proud of me. But the whole time, God took me for a turn to these other things that was in front of my face the whole time that I needed to do. And I know that he would be proud of me. He would. And I'm not saying that where I'm plateaued. I'm not putting myself on a high horse. I'm saying he will be proud of me at this stage in my life. A year down the road, if I keep going, which I know I will, because I'm going to remember that why. He's going to be proud of me. 10 years down the road, is he proud of me? He will be, because I'm going to have all these things accomplished that I manifest now.
I really like that, the finding your why, because a lot of people struggle with that. Sometimes it may be just you. Sometimes it may be your mom. Sometimes you may have kids. But finding your why. I mean, even your future, because a lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people, they want it now. They don't think about down the road. They don't think about setting their kids up for success or setting their future up for success. You got to think the long game too. Work on it in the short game, but set those goals, those long-term goals to achieve too. And as long as you stay on that path and you being more, it's not about being self-fulfilled and a self-righteous or, like you said, high horse. It's just being proud of what you're doing and follow because if you're redirected, which it will happen sometimes, you get redirected. I mean, some people may know what they want to do and feel that's what they want to do from a young age and pursue that. But don't be surprised if you get to the end of that path and you realize, man, this isn't where I wanted to go. Because like I said, I went through job after job, and then I waited 2.5 years for the one I have now. And at each one, I was like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do. But I was chasing finances. I wasn't chasing what I was ultimately supposed to be doing. And God, in a way, like, smacked both of us in the face. And I was like, I showed you guys in 2018 and 2019 what you're supposed to be working on.
Yeah.
Was I not loud enough? Okay, you didn't hear me that time. I'm going to show you again. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And he redirected us in a way. yeah, it's still grind hustle motivation. It's not necessarily clothing or ultimately just primarily clothing. It's spreading love and spreading positivity. So don't be surprised when you get redirected, because it's going to happen, most likely. Just know how to handle that redirection.
A good story, pretty much talking about comfort. People hit them 9-to-5s like you got your dream career that you've been wanting for years, and most people would, oh, I got it, I'm comfortable, I'm good. A good story is there's these two guys on an island. There's no food, and they're both given this magic seed that will grow a tree full of every food that they ever wanted. And so the two guys go, they plant the seed in the ground, and they water it every day for 2 weeks. They don't see nothing. One of the guys, guy number 2, is all frustrated. Guy number 1, he's staying with it and watering every day, and then a month goes by, still nothing. Well, guy number 2, he said, I'm about to give up if I don't see nothing tomorrow. Guy number 1, just still watering it. Tomorrow comes, still nothing. So guy number 2 gives up. He's like, I'll go find food somewhere else on this island. Guy number 1 sticks with it. And it's not until a year goes by of watering that same seed, and guy number 2 is calling him, why are you doing that? Why are you still watering it? You're not getting anything. That's not going to grow. Guy number 1 doesn't listen to him, keeps watering it. A year goes by, and this tree sprouts up, the biggest tree ever, full of any food you can ever think of. And guy number 1 is happy, and guy number 2 comes and, oh, let me get some of that. Guy number 1 is just staying with it, watering it every day, and now he's got everything that he ever wanted, all the food that he ever wanted. And I would like to say in life, guy number 1 and 2 is the average guy on working on their goals, and the roots under the ground are our goals, or what we're working with now. These roots are growing underground. You can't see them, but you got to know and keep pushing yourself, remembering your why, that these trees will sprout up. They will sprout up. And just because you can't see it, don't give up on it like guy number 2 did. Be like guy number 1 and remember and staying dedicated, because one day, if you stick with it, if you truly stick with it, anything is possible and your dreams will happen. You just got to stay dedicated and remembering why you started and knowing the roots are working underground, and it will happen.
I really like that a lot. I've never heard that anywhere, but that's definitely.
I made it up on the spot.
that is a great example of how life will be too, because you will be working on your own thing, and other people will give up on what they were working on because they didn't see instant success or instant gratitude, So people will come around, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that. But if you constantly just stay committed to what you truly believe in your goals, in your business, or whatever you're trying to do, when you finally get that built, people will come around, well, hey, I know what I said in the past, but
the whole time I was just trying to push you.
Yeah, they're always, and snakes or negativity, they'll come back with positive. Like, oh, the whole time, I was motivating you.
Yeah.
With negativity?
Yeah, come on now. Like, tough love.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You hear that a lot. You will hear that. And I'm not saying give into it and, share what you have, because you don't want to ultimately open, because negativity will come again. You're going to still encounter, just because you made it to the top doesn't mean you're not going to encounter problems or more struggle or more obstacles. So just keep pushing. Don't let what somebody else has to say intrude with what you're ultimately trying to do.
I feel like any dream that you have is very reachable, and no matter where you're at, what your surrounding is, you can accomplish these things. Jimmy Butler was homeless in high school, and this family brought him in, and he still chased those dreams, grinded every day. Whether he's homeless, then he finally got a house living with these people. He still grinded through the process, and he's in the NBA. He's a millionaire now because he didn't give up. So there's no excuse for what your situation is, what your surrounding is, your location on the map, whatever. There's no excuse to push yourself. Like our case, we're in a very small town. No, I can't think of one person that does podcasts. We just seen this. We watched these podcasts, and just one day it hit us, and never did it go through my mind. Oh, we're in a small town. We'll never make it. I don't care about that. I'm going to do this because I want to do it. Whether it's one view, like I was saying earlier. I do this because I know it's the right thing to do, and it's part of my process. I know it is, and even if it isn't, it's still positivity and putting out good things in the world rather than doing negative things or putting out negative things as well.
I definitely agree with that, and with the whole Jimmy Butler thing and going from nothing, poverty, living with someone, being on the streets to blowing up. I absolutely love stories like that. Because people like that come from nothing, when they get to the top, it is crazy how humble they are. It'll almost, the people that go through the toughest situations and then they finally make it, you would think would be the most, can't nobody get none of this, but they're the most humble. The people that blow up and they don't have to go on that long journey or that struggle, they'll be the ones that have no humbleness, nothing, because they don't know what it feels like to go through that struggle. And I think it's better to go through that struggle. I think it's better to go through the hard times and learn where you don't want to be again.
I agree.
Like, hey, I was broke before. I ain't never going to let that happen again. Or I didn't know love before. That ain't never going to happen again. Or I never knew God. I finally know him. I ain't never going to let that happen again. You know, just encountering struggle or encountering obstacles is going to shape you for what you're supposed to do. So just know it's hard. I know it is. Find it. And some people may not know why. Like, they're still chasing their why or still chasing what they're supposed to be doing. You got to find yourself first. Disassociate yourself with people that are negative. Step one, obviously. And then learn who you are. Learn what pushes you. What do you enjoy? And honestly, in my case, in our case, I just ask God, what am I supposed to be doing? And he will show you. He will show you what you're supposed to be doing. And you just got to follow what you believe in and what you think he wants you to do, or what you ultimately really want to do. And don't let nobody speak negative into it. Don't let nobody stop you. Just because somebody else can't do it doesn't mean you can't. Somebody will say, well, I don't think you can do that. No, you can't. You can't do it, but I can. And anything that you say isn't going to stop me. Because people are going to you're going to come across that. And you just got to learn how to push through it.
For sure. People always think that the dream is these finances, millions, a mansion, all this and all that, and just a great life. But really, Kobe Bryant once said it, the dream is the process. Waking up every morning early, the grimy, the dirty work, the discipline, the motivating yourself, getting out of bed, and just going through the storms by yourself. That's the dream. Mm-hmm. That is the dream. Not the $1 million cars, the $1 million, the finances, whatever. The grimy, remembering where you came from, self-disciplining yourself every single day. That's the dream.
And I like that you brought up a Kobe Bryant quote, because I'm had to bring in another great. I'm had to bring in a great quote. So Mike Tyson said, "Do what you hate, but do it like you love it." And if you figure out how you can do that when you go through the waking up and say you don't want to work out or you don't want to work on your business, I'm tired, I don't want to do this, but doing it like you love it.
Yep.
You establish that you establish that mentality that you know you can do it, and then it becomes a cycle of just constantly doing it. Yep. And you're disciplined. You got to be self-disciplined. That's a big thing. And if you don't know discipline, or if you have no discipline when hard times come, you're ultimately going to fold. So you got to buckle down. You may be sick. You may be tired. You got to do it tired.
I like that. It's almost like you got to make these things part of your daily routine, no different than brushing your teeth or taking a shower in the morning, taking your vitamins in the morning. take these steps and make them part of your daily routine. Even though you're tired, even though you want to get back in bed, it's your off day. Wake up. Get up and do it. Chase your dreams and make it happen today. Don't let somebody else make it happen for you, because they're not. You got to look in the mirror and talk to yourself and tell yourself, I can do it. Today is the day that I make something great happen. Manifest it, put it in your life, put it in your daily routine, and it will happen. I promise you it will change. Even if it's baby steps, it's all part of the process. It will all change for the better. And you'll get closer and closer and closer each day. You just got to stick with it and know something great is going to happen. And quit doing these lazy things and staying in bed all day. Whether you're sick, whether you're tired. Do it sick. Do it tired. You have no excuse. Get up and do it. Make it happen today.
I'd just like to finish up this podcast by kind of reiterating what you were saying with, it will be baby steps at first, but like a baby, you start out crawling, then you learn to walk, then you learn to run. Next thing you know, you're sprinting. You can't nobody stop you, and you're going towards that goal. But it starts with crawling. Someone out there right now needs to hear it. Start that business today.
Yeah, make it happen.
Start your steps towards that goal today. Set them small goals, but set them big goals too.
Start the blueprints.
Exactly. And once you start that, once you get the blueprints laid and you start running towards it, you're going to run to that mansion that you designed for yourself.
Exactly.
But start it today. I don't care if somebody tells you you shouldn't, or if you're tired, or if, like you said, if you're sick. Start it today and work on it each day. Get this goal made, this next goal made. And it will turn into where you have all this progress, and now it's all coming together. You got the blueprints, you're starting to work on it, you're starting to build, and can't nobody take it away from you. I don't care what anybody says.
Write them goals down on a piece of paper. You wrote it down, you wrote them goals down. Oh, and now it's visual. Now you can see it. Now you can speak it into existence. That's the blueprint. What's the next step? And I would just like to say, man, this was very good for the first podcast, and it's a good feeling to spread positivity in such a negative world and be a part of the good. Whether we get one view, even if it's our mom, like you said, it's still, we did our part. It's not about the views. It's not about the money in this case. It's about what we're doing on this earth to better ourselves.
I agree, and this is a great first podcast. Anyone out there that listened to it, I hope that we touched your mindset a little bit. Whether you have something negative or you have something positive to say, I hope that we were able to help you, or at least take time to get some positivity into your life. And I hope that you do take the steps towards what you're trying to work on, and I hope that you have a different mindset after this.
For sure.
And we'll be here next week. If you're hating on it, we'll be here next week.
Whether you like it or not, we'll be here next week.
We're gonna be here. So, but yeah, this is the first podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I love you, man.
Love you.